Now you know, man. What to do, everybody? Welcome to the ReJect Rundown. It is another fabulous Friday. We are here to give you guys the craziest stuff that occurred this past week, man. We got a great show happening. Oh, man, say what's up to the peeps because obviously I can't do this alone, man.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? I am Old Man RJ, and yeah, he can. He needed me. He woke me up from my old man nap.
Yeah, man, I was actually very shocked when you said, "Hey, man, old man's gonna take a nap, so wait, call me, make sure I'm awake." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Old man needs to sleep. I get it. I get it. Old folks need their time of rest, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you're gonna tell me. All right. Well, we got a lot of stuff to go over today. It was a lot of drama that's been happening this past week, and then actually even at that, the last 24 hours, man, a lot of drama. So let's dive deep. Let's get into it. Let's talk about some good stuff. All right. So the search is on, people. Oh man, if you did not see, Amazon MGM Studios has officially announced that they are looking for the new 007. It is officially been told. They are announcing it now. We've been hearing a lot of rumors on who it could be, what possibly it's going to end up being. But, obviously there was no official statement from the studios. They actually made it known and said, we're looking, for the next one. Obviously, they're going to take their time, pick the right character, maybe the right role of the script, depending on the direction of the 007 they want to go this time around. Who knows? But this search is on because I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been missing some 007. I had to rewatch Casino Royale, and I'm like, man, this is what I miss. I miss some 007 action. You know what I mean? This is basically a cool guy, just like Batman gets the ladies, solves the crime, handles business, right? No? All right, keep quiet. That's fine. Go to sleep. Go back to bed. That's cool. But yeah,
Can you
I'm
hear me
looking
now?
for. Yeah, now I can hear you. What the hell?
Okay. Yeah, I got kicked out.
Oh, okay.
I told to get the step in. So you can't be here. Get out of
Hmm,
here, old man. Take
gotcha.
your old man nap again.
So yeah, when it comes to James Bond, don't you think he's more similar to Batman, a little cleaner version, I guess you would say? Legally, he's a legally cool Batman. Got kicked out again, man. What the hell, man? Technical difficulties, piece. It's all good though. But I think that's what's the case with me. He's legally, the new age Batman. It's cool to see him, being back to the screen. We've had some really cool ass freaking 007 when it came to the original Mr. Sean Connery. And then
One more
here's
time. So
yes.
what you were asking about James Bond is that what were you saying about Bond? Because I heard that he's gonna they're only they're on the search for somebody
Right, exactly.
younger though.
Right. They're looking to pick someone younger. So that tells me that they're going reboot and starting from the beginning of how he becomes the agent himself. But what I was saying is that it seems like Bond is a very, clean version of Batman. He gets the ladies, he solves the crime, takes care of business. Am I right?
You're actually pretty much spot on because that's what he does. He gets the ladies. Always has cool gadgets,
Always.
and I believe that Batman was created before Bond was.
Well, I
I
think so
believe Bond
too.
was.
Yes.
I would have to look it up, but I think Bond was like 1940s and Batman was like 1930s.
Yeah.
So it you could see like the similarities. The only difference is one wears the mask, the other one doesn't.
Facts.
Uh, one takes on outside world leaders, and the other one takes on everything around the world.
Correct. Correct. And he's licensed. You know what I mean? The government actually works with him. He's actually, working with the government compared to Batman on one end. It's like he works outside of the lines. You know what I mean? So
Because the government tries to take him down, and he's like, I ain't
exactly.
having none of that.
Right.
I'm Batman.
Right. Correct the mundo. I'm Batman. I do what I want. You know what I mean? So yeah, but it's cool. It's good that we are finally getting some, a new James Bond in the books because, it's been quite some time since we've seen James Bond, right? And obviously, Daniel Craig did a wonderful set series for him portraying James Bond. I think he's probably what the third. third most when it comes to having multiple sequels of James Bond and playing the character. Maybe the most, I think. Maybe the most. But he's pretty up there. And he has some great movies. I love the Daniel Craig franchise of James Bond. I love every single movie of those. I own them all, and freaking fabulous, freaking phenomenal set of movies. I even became fans of Pierce Brosnan. Never watched the Sean Connery, but definitely watched Pierce. You know what I mean? And great characters.
For me, I would probably recommend if you are gonna watch Sean Connery.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't know a good start, but I think uh, probably From Russia with Love is one of the most popular movies that he has.
Yeah.
Another one would be From Russia with Love. Definitely another one I'm thinking would be Goldfinger.
Goldfinger. Yeah. Okay. I heard that was good too. Yeah. GoldenEye came from Pierce, right?
Yeah, Pierce is Goldeneye. I think, let's see. Goldfinger is Sean Connery. Dr. No is Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I think Sean Connery had like 4 or 5
Yeah.
movies that are legit Bond movies.
Right.
Then he made one that it's a Bond movie, but it's from a different company. And it's weird. One of my favorite Bonds is actually Timothy Dalton. Believe it or not, he's one of my favorites. But I've always been a Sean Connery guy.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Always been one of those. And I think also, too, they made a video game of John Connery's 007. And that was pretty successful. People enjoyed that one. Everyone definitely enjoyed all the freaking video games that Pierce Brosnan ended up playing in and creating with all that. World's End, if I think it was, or World's Not Enough, GoldenEye. Those were one of the coolest 007 games that they had. So it's good. I mean, it's cool to get this character back on the big screen. And if they're looking at looking for a younger gentleman to portray this character, because obviously they're looking for the long run, having this 007 do multiple set projects, I'm cool with it, man. I'm actually excited for it.
One thing I want to see is if they're gonna, because remember Daniel Craig Bond, he went to the Skyfall Ranch in school or something like that,
right?
Where he lived.
Right.
So I'm thinking, my opinion would be, if this is going to be a reboot,
yes,
that starts back in the day,
right?
Are they gonna aim toward that? Are they gonna do a James Bond? Are they gonna go into more detail of Skyfall, like when he was growing up there? Yeah. Or here's my other theory: is Bond is not the same guy each time. It's always a different guy. What if what we're looking at now is a new agent that becomes Bond?
Well, that's kind of what I always thought too when they introduced Daniel Craig, because I just recently watched Casino Royale, and in it, M does say, you were too young, your previous successors or whatnot, didn't give me much grief as you did, and I think me choosing you as the new Bond, I think I was premature picking you. So I feel like each James Bond is who 007 attaches to, like in the franchise, or when the government concerned is like 007, that's 007. James Bond name is attached to it, and there's multiple different James Bond depending on who they pick to be the agent. You know what I mean? If they die off or they retire away, type of deal, depending on the time frame. So it's like Daniel Craig was as a successor to Pierce when Pierce decided to walk away as the James Bond he was, and then obviously M picks Daniel Craig. That was always my thought in watching Casino Royale when it first came out. I was like, okay, are they rebooting this, starting fresh? Is the story just brand new, or is this a project where they just continue on picking the new James Bond, and it's just basically just piggybacking off of what the previous one just retired off of? That's what was my thought.
The only thing I think about this is sadly, that one guy, actor, Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
I think he was M. We had him as M for like probably 2 movies.
Right.
And now it's like we're rebooting it. I wonder if they'll just choose him to be M all over again.
I surely hope so because he played a badass M. You know what I mean? I think that's the one that you want to stick with, my opinion. So yeah, I would stick with that one. So it'll be nice to see what they do when it comes to the story. And like, I think it'll be right to say that if they do start new and fresh and younger, that's what they're looking at. They're looking at someone who they can develop the backstory to, tell that backstory in connection of picking, in training to become 007, and then the hardship that comes with being the new 007. You know what I mean? Like, I got so much expectations, so now I either exceed them or I'm not exceeding crap, right? So I feel like that's going to be what's going to end up happening.
I agree. That
So,
that seems to be like the best way, best path to producing this movie.
mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I feel like. Well, we'll see. We shall see, though. All right, so hopefully you guys let me know who. Actually, of all things, too, let me know who you feel like would be the perfect option to be James Bond. I think that's one character I put a post up recently about that too, where there was an actor that could end up being the James Bond, which, if I'm not mistaken, was the actor who is in Euphoria. Right? Did you see that post, oh man?
Yeah, but that dude's like 7 feet tall.
So
I think Bond needs to be
he needs to be
because Bond
shorter.
and because he's actually based on the writer himself.
Okay.
James Bond, the guy
Yeah.
who created him, actually wrote stories about himself supposedly. So that's why
Oh,
Bond's always been like a 6 foot something tall guy in his 40s because that's when Ian Fleming I think began doing his missions in each war that he was in.
gotcha. Now, I'm trying to scroll down to see if I have the post. There it is. Here he is. Yeah, Jacob Elladori, who's in Euphoria. He has a great picture. I'm just saying, he looks like a solid young James Bond. You know what I mean? He could be the newest one, but again, it's just all depending. Obviously, everyone has to go through the trials and the acting and all the pursuing of this character. So I'm okay. Whoever they pick, let's put it this way, oh man, I think they've picked pretty good. These actors right here is a good solid core of people. So they've done right by this. I think I can trust in the next James Bond that they're picking. Right?
Yeah, I'm hoping that they finally either give me another Scottish guy because Bond's part of so Scottish now,
Yep.
or they give me a full on British guy.
It's same. And when they were talking about what's his face? Oh my god, what's his damn name? Uh the
Hopefully
gentleman
not
who
some. Henry Cavill.
no. The other gentleman that played as Deathshot in in the James Gunn freaking movie.
Oh,
Suicide Squad.
I just saw.
Idris Elba. There you go. Idris Elba. Yeah. That gentleman. When they were trying to dub him as being the first African American James Bond, I'm not gonna lie. I was excited for that for sure. Right. I think it sucked because he would be the new James Bond at a later stage of his age. Had they had picked him, younger, in his early 30s, if anything, I think that would have been solid because we could have got a good 3 to 4 movies off of him during that time frame, and then he could have called it quits, and he would have been a perfect James Bond at his stage. But I think them picking him at his age that he is now, I don't know if it would have been as successful. Do you agree, or do you feel like it could have been okay?
No, I agree. I think actually no. I think if he was to have done Bond, especially being an older gentleman like he is now,
Yeah,
you can always write stories based on older versions of Bond. Like create something based on him being older now and probably like on his dying days, like the last few missions of his life.
yeah,
And
right.
remember, that's one thing I said is that Bond is only a code name, in my opinion. That's what he is, just a code name. And
True,
they give James Bond to any person they dub 007.
true. No, yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. So
Hmm.
we'll see. I think the search is on. The good thing is the search is on. So let's wait it out. Let's see how things play out. I would love to see where he ends up and where they end up picking for as far as an actor is concerned. So we'll see how it goes. Right. On to the
All right.
next.
All right.
Double trouble, old man. DC Studios has officially announced that they are developing a live action Deathstroke and Bane film. All right. Now, I know it was earlier discussed in the year, if I'm not mistaken, that it is a possibility and it's developing, but at this point, it's official. The script was written. James Gunn obviously likes it. So it looks like they are pursuing production. And this could be coming out, I think, timetable wise, they're looking at 2028 sometime. If all goes well, I think they want to push towards the end of 2027, but I think early 2028 is probably the best eyeball what they're looking at. But it's going to be part of the DCU universe that he is involving all these characters with, and it looks like the script itself makes sense, and it looks like he wants to pursue that because this script or this idea of the film came out later on when he was first announcing his timeline. So since those scripts from those original timeline characters that he was picking out didn't really pan out, all of a sudden we started hearing that, someone's developing this Bane and Deathstroke movie where we're like, why would you do villains now? It doesn't make any sense. But what we're seeing in Clayface, more than likely this could be good. So if they can keep it how obviously we see here on the screen between the two characters, I'm actually all for it. If they can make sense out of it, being the hired assassins type of deal, or hired to inflict pain, I'm okay. I think right now it seems like they're going good. So do you agree, or were you shocked that they're even making a movie like this?
No, actually, when I heard about this, I think we spoke about it before. I said it'd be best if they did something more, calling it, instead of Bane and Deathstroke, they should call it Suicide Squad Presents Bane and Deathstroke.
Which one?
They should call it the Suicide Squad Presents Bane and Deathstroke.
Ah, that is good.
You can make it Amanda Waller puts them into a mission.
Yeah.
And they both had to survive this mission, and it's only them two that get sent out there.
True. Okay.
And then that gives us more screen time with Amanda Waller, which pretty much, I hate to say, but it's one of the characters I actually miss seeing in the movies.
Which one?
Especially with Viola Davis. No, Amanda Waller.
Amanda Waller? I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I agree. I do. I feel like we need her. We know we need her back. I think we only got like a little, dose when she did Peacemaker season 1, and we didn't really get too much of her in season 2. I do believe she did make appearance, but it's like, nah, man, we need, like, she played a great part and she killed her character. You know what I mean? She killed the script. It was great. So yeah, I agree with you on that one.
So yeah, that's what I think. If they're gonna do something like that with those two together, that's the best explanation of why they're working together. Because other than that, what they're gonna do? Probably something happens to Ra's al Ghul, and these two team up to take down the guy that took down Ross.
There you go. Maybe. And the one thing what I would like for them to do with Bane is I would like, you see how is in, like, how they portrayed him in Batman Arkham Origins. I'm saying Origin. Say it again.
Oranges. I don't know why it's Origins.
I feel like I'm saying orange. You know what I mean? Like orange.
Yeah, you're probably craving an orange right now or something. Oranges.
Something citrusy.
Bane oranges.
Yeah. Origins. Right?
Origins. There you go.
Got it. So with that video game came out this particular Bane, right? So with this particular Bane, he looked freaking badass. I'm not gonna lie. They had him look like an assassin with the mask set up as the accent and kicking some ass. So, and he didn't have to be this overly, mutated type of character when it comes to his venom or whatnot. He just looked dope. And he still used the venom. It just made him convulsively big, it's for strong. So in my mind, when it comes to them trying to create this cool ass Bane character, that's where I feel like they need to stick with. I don't want to see this big old overly mutated, heavyset kind of guy with some little ass legs. I want to see a freaking soldier who wrestler, luchador type of guy from Spain who's willing to kick some ass. You know what I mean? That's like smart, intelligent, knows how to use his agility, speed, freaking strength, all of that nature. And just, I think that's where they want to. I hope that that's where the aim is for this film. Because if they give me this whole, Batman Returns type of Bane, or Batman and Robin type of Bane, I'm out. I'm checking me out. Check me out of it. I don't want none of it.
The one thing I do hope is that if they are gonna go with Bane, I hope they actually have to go with CGI. The reason why I want them to go with CGI is because remember when Bane pumps in the venom into himself, his body and himself, he gets bigger. His muscles get bigger.
Right.
I think he actually gets taller too. So it'll be cool to see that play into the film finally, where he actually pumps the thing in. I mean, of course, we got a glimpse of that in Batman and Robin, but that thing was dumb.
True.
They got a smart Bane in the Dark Knight Rises, but he was grounded. He couldn't, he's not going to mutate. So I'm hoping we get that.
Yeah.
We get a Bane that finally mutates.
Okay. All right. At least, you know what I mean? Like, at least at this case maybe. So I think that's what I'm hoping for. But if I'm just glad that the script seems to make sense according to, I guess you would say according to James Gunn. The script itself makes sense. So that's where they want to keep this in that direction. And I'm actually okay with that. I'm glad that they're doing that. And I'm glad that it, if it didn't make any sense, they weren't going to go with it. That's where I'm glad with, for sure. So we'll see how this develops more. We'll see who portrays as these characters. But I think this would be a great project for them to do, just because obviously they're getting a lot of high hopes and a lot of high praise when it comes to them making the Clayface film. So I think we're off to a good start. Let's put it that way. I like this direction. Now on to the next thing. If you didn't heard, just like I said, in the last 24 hours, man, it's been nuts. Earlier today, we found out that Mr. Tom Hardy was fired. Fired. Who freaking gets fired like that of a freaking TV series? In this, so the producers of Mobland, all right, that's on Paramount, seems to be, going to media and stating that he's been such a diva. He's been coming in late, bringing up, writing up these type of notes and discussions pertaining to his character and how the show needs to be directed, all this kinds of stuff. And these producers are having none of it. They want to let him go. So it seems, or what according to the report is he's been fired before they started filming season 3. All right. So season 1, season 2 is in the books. It's renewed for season 3. They're just about to start production. But at this point, they're saying, no more Tom Hardy. Now, TMZ then early reported that Mr. Tom Hardy isn't fired and that there's more to the story. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that they are not letting this gentleman go. Now, I have yet to see the series. All right. This is actually my next set of series of watching, because I just finished watching Tulsa King, those 3 seasons of it. And I'm telling you right now, those are 3 badass series of freaking Tulsa King. So right now, Mobland is on my next to watch list and binge watching these 2 seasons. These 2 seasons. So I want to see what the hell's happened. But how are you going to try to let go of friggin' Tom Hardy? This dude obviously seems to be the one that's making that show. Just what I'm saying. But what do you think, old man? Do you think the reports are true? He's actually truly fired, or we got somebody who you're just being a diva?
No, I don't even think they're being fired at all. I think in reality, he probably has a movie he has to go film. Or something. We're not sure yet, but I feel like his schedule might have been cut short due to him having to commit to films because Tom Hardy's still a big name out there
Correct.
for cinema.
Right.
So
And he's a fan
I
favorite. People like working with
yeah,
him. I think I would say the only person we've only heard a couple of issues when it comes to on set was in the movie Fury. All right. If I'm not mistaken, he was in that one. Yeah, I believe so. He was in Fury. There were some issues going on with that, but wasn't too crazy just because of how the work ethic was going around. Even a lot of the actors were having some issues. Wasn't just him. But also to the movie, what was that? Fury Road, when they did Mad Max.
no, yeah, he was in that one.
Yeah,
And
him
again,
and Theron
Charlie
or whatever.
Theron.
Yes, they had some beef, but again, it pertained to the weather, pertained to the work, commitment to making the movie. And since then, they obviously they they've squashed the beef, but said, I don't think we should do another project in that manner. So obviously, he's a well-known guy. He's likable. Everyone likes working and they respect working with him. So it's just weird that this is coming out, my opinion.
I agree, it is because, like I've seen, I never, other than Charlie Theron, you never had anyone complain about him or
Right.
about working with him.
Right.
So it leaves the question is, uh, who or why? Pretty much, I'll put it this way: I feel like sometimes those dirt sheets, they
Yep.
want to spread more news that they can to see if they
Yep.
can catch your eye to look at it.
Yep. Yep. Could agree with that.
Hmm.
Yep.
And that's what I think happened.
Same. So I think we'll still hear what's out. I think in just this past day itself, this just barely came out early this morning. So I think TMZ is deep diving into it and going to be, releasing a lot more information. And I'm sure they'll definitely release a lot more by tomorrow. So let's stay tuned, everybody, and let's see what the hell happens with this, because there's no way you're going to freaking fire Tom Hardy off of this project. Sorry, but well, everybody. If you see on the screen, I'm not going to say the slogan that they do, but yeah, it's true. Betty Boop is coming to the big screen, everybody. We're getting a resurgence of the character, and I think people are going to love it because said actress, Ms. Quinta Brunson, if I pronounce your name correctly, if I did not, I apologize. But you do so much and do so cool in that Abbott Elementary TV series that's out there. Phenomenal job. All right. I have yet to see the series. I think that's something that's also on my next list, but it looks freaking hilarious every time I scroll up and I see some type of, Instagram, video or TikTok screen of it. It looks freaking hilarious. But that being said, she will be starring and developing, producing said film of Betty Boop. All right. She's the one that's decided to bring back this character. And it looks like what they're doing is not yet confirmed when it comes to it being a live action and animated, but it seems like it can be a crossover of both, like they did with Looney Tunes. And the reason being is because it sounds like what the story where she wants to kind of move the story into is how the creator of Betty Boop and Betty Boop herself, how they connect. Betty Boop questions why she's important, who she is, type of deal as a character, as an animation, and said, writer or drawer or whatever case to be, then tries to help her understand throughout the film of why she's such an important figure. So there's a story to be told. I can hear this, and this seems pretty good. And it seems like it's going to be one of those, like, I guess, connection, friendship, overcome certain things type of movie, which could be good, especially if they can be comedic in that sense. So I'm actually intrigued by this. It's good to see Betty Boop get some respect back. You know what I mean? That's just me. What do you think of it?
Let's see. One, it's actually great to see old cartoons come back to life
That's right.
or come back to our time. Of course, Betty Boop was what 1950s, 1960s.
Something like
So
that, man.
for her to resurface, that means that she still catches young talent's eyes, and like the actress was gonna do it. She's producing and and starring in the film.
Yeah,
So you could tell that she's a big Betty Boop fan for her to do that. And
true.
as we've seen now, actors and actresses who don't have that much of a big name yet,
Right.
they're hitting hard in cinema. Look at that girl from the Superman Lois show, who is her movie Obsession is becoming one of the biggest movies out there right now.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
anything's possible.
True. And so she originated in 1930, dude. 1930s.
Damn.
And we're coming out with a character now, finally, a resurgence. I'm fine with it, man. Bring back the classics, show them out. Let's show some respect to what the beginnings were in the past, and let's enjoy. And I think with this, with Miss Brunson, man, like I said, I think she has a solid mindset of where the direction of the character should go, and comedic talent wise to make this such a cool film. It's not just for maybe if her audience could be those type of teenager kids. I'm cool with that. I think that's where the audience is going to be really focused on. But those like us, that's seen this character multiple times in the past and all of a sudden do a comeback, I'm definitely down. Definitely down. Definitely down. It's going to be pretty good. 1930s, dude. That's crazy, bro. 19
Which
freaking
means that
30s.
if she does this movie, what I would do is I would wait. I would film it right away. I'll film it like in the
True.
like in a year or two. I'll film it, but
Yeah.
don't release until 2030.
There you go.
Years, like her 100-year anniversary.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. We'll see how that one rolls out. Now, speaking of older films, oh man, I don't know if you saw this or not, but it looks like The Godfather is getting a part 4, right? And now, that being said, though, there is a lot of speculation that it may not be actually part 4, but it sounds like it's going to be part 1.5. All right. And now, when I say this, oh man, let me try to explain it, because right off the bat, I when I hear 1.5, I'm thinking Lion King 1.5, and how Timon and Pumbaa decided to tell their story in the midst of what was going on with the Lion King. And it was, funny for those two characters, but I don't know how it's going to make sense when it comes to, a live action great film like this. All right. So let me explain. It's allegedly discussed and allegedly it said that the film itself will be centered around Connie. And we all know who Connie is. She's the daughter and the only solo daughter of Mr. Don Vito. Okay. This will be of a story that's being told in her eyes and in the woman's eyes of growing up in the mob, and especially being the kingpin, the mom herself, daughter, right? How she grew up being who she is in this world, and how she became such a great character throughout this whole series. So it seems like right now, currently, there's a novel that's being written that's discussing this, and then from that novel, then that will take over and become the movie. All right. So I don't know. I'm gonna give my opinion on this. I don't know if I want to see this, because it don't matter. We've already seen her character develop throughout the series itself, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and her big important piece came out in 3, and she's, my opinion, she was one of the most important pieces of Godfather 3, and I was fine with it. So why are we going backwards to then tell it again? In a sense, somehow it don't make no sense to me at all whatsoever. I'm not happy with that. If they would just go ahead and continue and become a part 4 of The Godfather and do a sequel, and then show how Andy Garcia's character developed and became the new kingpin, and obviously he's having trials and tribulations of said, staying strong, and right now they're not as strong as they used to be, so now he's back on the uppercut, and again, like they did in part 3, here's a new guy, or here's his son who wants to take over and has all these ideas, and then go for it. And the reason why I say that, because if you watch Tulsa King and you see how they kind of operate, they have some type of magic that they could work in it. That's just me, though. Do you like this direction though, man, or do you feel like I feel there could be another direction going?
If they're gonna have her Invisible, why not do the movie based on Andy Garcia now that he's a little bit older, you know? So you
Right,
take off years after the events of part three.
right,
This would be now Andy Garcia in charge of the family,
right.
and she could be his like right hand, like the person in his ear, just like she was in Michael's ear in the last film.
True.
So you remember she at the end of Godfather 3, man, she freaking went all evil mode. She became more
Right.
like not evil mode, but she became more cold.
Ruthless, just as
Yeah,
ruthless as them. Yes, I agree.
and probably even more scarier because I feel
Hell
like I
yeah.
feared her more than I feared Michael. But the only difference is I feel Michael was a lot smarter than she is. But remember one thing in that whole film, she called out Michael on killing both her brother and her
Yep,
husband.
yep, yep.
So she knew. She's like, you did this. It's all you. So
Right.
it'll be interesting to see where she plays if they did a fourth one.
Yeah,
Um, but not based on her character rising, but more like after Michael Corleone. Like I want to
yeah,
see what happens with her and with Sonny's son, which I forgot what Andy Garcia's character is. So they
yeah.
should have focused more on that.
Okay,
It's not Sonny Jr. though. I forget his name. Yeah, it's something like Molino. No, shit.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking it up. Don't worry, don't worry.
All right,
Vincent,
well you do that.
Vincent,
Vincent,
Vincent
Vincent
Corleone.
Corleone.
Yep.
So he's kind of like I think that's the same name as his grandfather, right?
Don Vito's. Let's figure it
Oh,
out.
Vito, Vito. Yeah,
Vito.
no,
What?
no, no, it's Vito.
Let me
So
see
yeah,
what.
I don't think there was a Vincent Corleone then, except for the grandson.
Yeah, what? They have all these old characters in there, and I'm trying to look who the actual main character was. With oh, Bon Bonacera. What the heck? What was his name? Salvatore.
Salvatore.
Yeah,
I think that was like one of the villains, right?
yeah, yeah. Looks like it.
No, they're
It's
trying to
crazy.
do a like not a reboot, but they're trying to do like a side movie, like a kind of like a part four is based on her like take on what's going on.
Right.
Um, there's a show. It was actually I think a movie or a show that came out back in the day that was based on the making of The Godfather. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's called The Offer. And The Offer, they had an actor who pretty much played a really good Al Pacino. If you're gonna
Mm.
go back and do a movie based on like the younger version of that,
Yeah.
I think the guys that were in The Offer, the actors that were in The Offer, is a good shot for you to hire for these roles.
Okay. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like either you go old, you go that path, or you go the path we were thinking about, which is continue the story from now, from the
Right.
future,
Yep.
and see what's going on with Andy Garcia. Because right now is a good chance to write something with Andy Garcia, get the team behind Tulsa King or the team behind the mob to do
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
and see where it goes.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, because what they did with Tulsa King and what Sylvester Stallone did for the mafia family, let's put it that way, like that's where you put it, the mob, the mafia family. You got to be the made man and all that good stuff. The storyline that he sets himself around, puts it in there. I'm telling you, man, it makes sense to where it's like, you know, the essence of the mafia is we need to make money, and money brings in power. Power brings in control. Control brings in high centered, you work for me type of thing. You know what I mean? And regardless, there's always going to be somebody trying to go after you and try to go after for the good stuff that you have, the goods. And then from there, you have to develop said schemes and said, these type of plans to play chess and outsmart your next, your opponent in order for you to stay the king. You know what I mean? The Godfather himself. So that's what Tulsa King it just like rolls around, and I love how the concept on the story plots that they have on there, because it's like, you have this main character, and then this main character then introduces himself with these other characters. Within these other characters have their own said solo story, who then develop and do something to bring in positivity or bring in something to the group. You know what I mean? They have something. So if they could do something like that with the next Godfather film, like, I feel like it could be the upcoming, like the return of the mafia. So now in essence, they're giving this high praise that we need to gain back control over these past years, because we've been sleeping. We've been living somewhat under a rock because of what so much scrutiny we were under. So now it's time for us to gain back what we missed all this time, because the world has gone out of whack. So let's get this back under control in this set of mindset. I feel like that's something that they need to tap into, and it'd be great for the film. I will like it. I'll watch it. My opinion.
I would too. Because, like you said, Tulsa King has one. We need mafia movies. We haven't had one in a good while. You need a good mafia team to bring it back.
Facts.
Like, a good show that I used to like watching was Boardwalk Empire, which was based on like the 1930s mafia, like the rise of Al Capone and all that, more of like Lucky Luciano.
And it was successful.
Yeah. And I'm like, in my mind, I wish they would have continued doing more like spin-offs. Yep. And the spin-offs should have been like the story of Al Capone, like on his own, like the full Al Capone story, the Lucky Luciano. Like, in my mind, dude, you could do so many things with the mob itself, where you can create a long-lasting series based on mafia people from the past, and just each season, like, you can base a few seasons. When you finish that one up and his story, you go to the next one.
Yep.
You go Capone, you go Luciano, you go this guy, you go that guy. You just start bringing them out there for everybody to watch.
Yeah, I agree. That's dope. I'm cool with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, so we'll see everybody. We'll see how things develop out. But the fact that they've announced that they are making that fourth film, I think that's has everyone excited. Those who are loving Godfather series in general, like especially all of us men. But in general, to kind of figure out where are they going to end up with this story in part 4. Will this just be a piggyback off of what's going on in her story as Connie and telling the whole story like they would do in 1.5 type of setup? Or will they actually move on and just continue on what the aftermath of part 3 was? We'll see. I'm hoping for that one. Second option. Just my opinion. But we'll see. Now, not really a big fan, but I know you guys are. But it seems like they are making a Rick and Morty movie, everybody. It's official. The movie is finally coming. And I think it has a lot of fans buzzing about it because they've been such a fan favorite character for the last, 5-10 years. So congratulations, guys. It's coming out. Hopefully you guys can enjoy it. Love it. I'm sure we'll see these characters back on Fortnite sometime soon. But congratulations, everybody. Put it that way. We'll see what happens. Do you watch the show? Oh, no.
Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Not much.
Never seen it. Just like I barely see any Simpsons movies.
I've seen the Simpsons movies, but Rick and Morty, I don't know why it never called my attention, which is weird. You would think it would.
Yeah,
but nothing.
I think this was a perfect time for Zach to back. If you would have tuned in and came on or whatever case would be, I think this was a perfect time for him to say something. But we'll see what happens. Now, moving on to sports stuff, everybody. It is official. All right. It's official. We've been discussing this for the past couple episodes on yes, is a deal or no deal for Conor. But it seems like since on last weekend, while we were discussing and watching the Netflix event of Rousey versus Gina Carrera, Dana White decided to drop a bomb right before the main event started. So the crazy thing is, as we were discussing if it was a deal or no deal, That's when this mofo decided to drop the freaking bomb and said, it's official, everybody. They are coming to UFC 329. Conor has signed up. Max Holloway has signed up. This fight is official. So stay tuned. And it seems like they got pretty much all of the card already done, even before previous events are even done yet. And this is already in the books. It's written, pen written. They are training currently right now. You've seen Max Holloway dropping some videos of him punching the punching bag. You've seen Conor doing some weird wrestling stuff that he always loves to do. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like it was the wrong time to announce it, but I feel like he had to do it to draw some attention away from the Gina versus Ronda, but it didn't help. It just came out the wrong time, in my opinion. What do you think of this? It being announced right now? Do you like what the announcement when it happened? And you excited finally?
No, not at all. It looks like it's gonna suck. No, tell you the truth, man. It looks like it's fun to see Conor McGregor back. He's always been an entertaining person within the sport itself. So
facts.
To see him return, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. So yeah, I want to see what he does out there. What how good the fight's going to be good. It's Max Holloway. Max Holloway, you've seen when he was the bad MFer, bad motherfucker.
Facts.
He wanted to throw down and fight, and McGregor is gonna want to go in there too. I can't remember who won the last time or what happened in the last fight, but
Conor won that one.
Conor won that one?
Yep.
So the rematch is going to be very important for Max.
Yeah. He's going to want his comeback like Dustin Poirier got his comeback. So, yeah, it is. It is going to be a very important when it comes to these two fighting. And it's, this could be the event where Conor gets knocked the hell out and just knocked out cold like Dustin Gaethje did, especially within the 10 seconds in the middle of the ring. So it is one of those. Now, what a lot of sports analysts has said, is that what they wanted to officially do with this fight was they wanted to have Conor McGregor fight for a particular belt, right? And as we all know, Max Holloway just lost the BMF belt. So people are wondering why didn't they choose Conor fighting Oliveira for the belt, is because what they didn't want to happen, like they end up happening between Max Holloway and Oliveira, was another situation where Conor just basically gets controlled on the ground and then loses, and then Oliveira just gains back the BMF belt. So they were hoping that Max won that fight, but it didn't end well. And right now, currently, they're just having this exhibition fight. So I don't know. I've always been skeptic as to Conor even returning to the octagon and even fighting in general, because all I know is he's just doing it for the money. But just whatever. Let's get it over with. Let's see if it makes any sense. Let's see if it actually draws a crowd. That's all I'm at. That's where my level of mindset is. So
yeah, it's funny how you said whatever, just get over it. I don't care. This is how I feel.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It is what it is. Like this whole back and forth, and that's what I'm saying. This Conor is on the same level right now, currently, like how John Jones is. Not truly hateful like I do with John Jones, but he's annoying me. Conor has annoyed me for the last freaking 10 years. I want to say almost, maybe 8 years it's been, since his fight with freaking Mayweather. So it really aggravates me with this whole, I'm going to fight. I'm not going to fight. I'm going to fight this year. I'm not going to fight. I am going to fight. Not this year. So it's like, bro, just fight. Stop griping and complaining about the paycheck. If you are the person who loves to fight and says, I love to fight for the people, I love to sit there and draw a crowd, then get your ass in there, man. Instead of worrying about the actual amount of what they're going to do, man, just get the check-in amount when it comes to the merchandise, when it comes to the revenue or the pay-per-view event or whatever the case it be. Get that. I'm sure you'll make a lot of there. Just the endorsements themselves. Like, bro, stop. So I don't know, but I'm finally glad. I'm glad it's happening. Just glad it's happening. Let's just get it over with. Let's have this fight. Let's watch it. We'll take it from there. We're gonna tune in and watch it, right? You know.
Yeah. We'll. It's gonna be on UFC on Paramount, so we definitely gonna sit there and watch.
Exactly.
Are we doing?
Exactly.
Are we watching one tomorrow?
I don't think I can per se. Let me see who's actually on there. I don't know if I'll be able to schedule wise on time tomorrow. So we'll see. Just because we're prepping up for there isn't one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there isn't a UFC fight tomorrow. There's only on the 30th. So we'll see then.
That's crazy because on 30th or 31st they're gonna have what is it? Something a clash in Italy for WWE.
Oh, okay.
And they're gonna have the battle of the Luchador match.
Yes.
Between those guys on AAA. So that's gonna be interesting to watch.
That's definitely gonna be a good one to watch. I'm definitely intrigued for that one for sure. So yeah, guys, that's what's announced. So we'll hopefully see what else is coming. But those are tuning in for the NBA, man. Who will be in the NBA finals? I would like to know what you guys think. So when you guys get a chance, please put it in the chat who you guys think is taking it. I'll let you guys know where they at currently right now. This is pretty much Saturday early morning. So as of this early Saturday, the Cavs right now are down 2. Knicks are up. The Knicks are leading the series 2-0, everybody. So you guys let me know, do you think the Cavs will make a comeback, or is it finally the year where the Knicks go to the finals and end up possibly winning? I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think on that one. Now between the Thunder and the Spurs, it looks like OKC is leading 2-1, everybody. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. This last game was 123 over 108 at San Antonio. So maybe we'll see OKC versus the Knicks in the finals. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Wemby makes a comeback. I don't know. So it's weird, man. Have you watched any of these or watched the highlights at all to kind of have some comment or whatever? But what do you feel like?
I've been watching I've just been following the story.
Yeah.
I also seen how a lot of people are complaining about the Oklahoma Thunder and how Thunder has been like doing that whole falling down, flopping and all that.
Right.
And I'm like, well, it's funny y'all complaining about that flopping, but we've been complaining about other flopping way back in the day.
Thank you. I love the fact that you brought that up today. So that right there is also another thing that I wanted to bring up before we move on to the next topic. There was recently, earlier today, there was a post that came out on EA Sports, Instagram channel. So you guys go on there, look on there. But there was a post that they brought up showing, because someone went in and did the statistics for 4 of the most dominant players that's playing right now currently in the conference finals, and added up all the tally marks of these superstars who go for a jump shot and fall down, right? You ever seen that, old man? Someone throws a 3-point and all of a sudden they scoop back and fall down? Well, they figured out and said who is the one that does it the most, and Mr. SGA that comes from OKC is definitely the one that does it the most out of all of them. All of them. Falls down after a jump shot, right? Last time I remember, old man, someone who shoots up for a jump shot, you jump up with 2 feet, you land on 2 feet. I've never seen any. I've never heard of the idea of training for that is to fall down right afterwards. Or maybe it's just me.
I mean, when you become the greatest, faller, flopper of all time, you got to learn how to fall and land correctly. Look at the the guy from the Lakers, Mr. LeBron James, the flop.
That's correct.
Look at one time where they didn't touch him. He fouls the guy, and then as they foul the guy, he realizes what happened. He falls down to the floor too.
Yes. Correct, the Mundo. Or Do you remember that one scene where it's all over? It's literally like the most probably watched, flop of all times. The one where he gets shoulder shrugged, shoulder checked, and it's like for a screen, and he receives the screen, but he stands tall. He wants to stand tall and act like it didn't phase him. But then 2 seconds later, as he noticed him walking away, he looks over to the other side. And he sees the ref, and he decides to do this weird, type of gesture, and then gets a foul called. Get your butt out of here. I'm done. So, look, y'all wanted this. You guys applaud for this. You guys backed up LeBron James for this. Now you guys are getting a taste of your own medicine and watching OKC. It's y'all fault. You guys wanted this to happen. You guys voted for this. You guys tune in and watch this. Keep watching because it's going to look like shit. The more you can watch. Ain't looking any better.
I'm more interested in the Knicks and Cavaliers because if what's happening is true, it's crazy to see that Dan Housing is becoming a bigger name.
There you
because
go.
of the NBA.
Yes, right.
Because of that whole you are cursing it. And like, it's funny because the Knicks were cursed.
Yep.
And they're losing. All of a sudden, he's like, somebody paid him money. Yeah, he takes away the curse. And he curses the Cavaliers. And the funny thing is, when he takes away the curse, all of a sudden the Knicks are like undefeated. I'm not sure if they're 2-0 against the Cavs or not, but
no.
They are. I think they're in a 9 winning streak.
I agree. Yeah, I believe you are correct. Since Danhausen has taken away the curse, they have not lost the game.
And it's crazy because look at that, man. It's like
that's awesome.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, who would imagine something like that happening? Where here's a curse. Now, I wish they would have done that for the Indiana Pacers because I feel like the Pacers are sadly cursed like a crazy motherfucker, man, because they haven't won the championship yet.
Yeah, they had chances. I mean, they had a chance with Reggie Miller, but obviously, who was on the other side? The greatest of all time, Mr. MJ. Couldn't get over him, just like many other legends couldn't get over him. And Kobe couldn't get over that one. A lot of drama happening there. So,
and then last year they were against OKC, and OKC beat them.
So I don't know, man. I agree with you on that one.
I think it's going to be Knicks and OKC at the end.
I hope so. I really do. I'm not gonna lie. Between the four of them, like I would love to see San Antonio because I've always been San Antonio fan, just a fan, casual fan, not really betting in them, but I was always a good solid Ginobili and Tim Duncan. Those two guys were one of the coolest cats to play basketball. And I think, them being a combination in San Antonio and having such a great success there, I was more intrigued rooting for those guys for sure back in the day. Not necessarily great fans, but, just respected their game for sure. And the Knicks themselves has always been a franchise where it's like, okay, MJ had his timeline. Patrick Ewing and the Knicks, they need their time, man. It's like those Michael Jordan loves playing at Madison Square Garden. He calls Madison Square Garden like the pinnacle, the Coliseum for all NBA basketball players. And that's where you should want to play. And at that, elevate your game on that particular night. That being said, the Knicks got it, man. Carmelo Anthony went there and he played dominant. So it's like, they finally need a win. They need a win. And if anything, I choose them over, and I hope they win it all this year. I really do. I hope they win it all.
That's cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Because I hope they win it all too. It'd be nice to see the Knicks win it because Cavs have won it, OKC's won it, and the Spurs have won it. So it's time for the Knicks.
It is. It definitely is. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully Dan Housing can help us out with this one.
But now, if he wins, if they invite him to the parade and everything like that,
I'm sure they will. If they do actually win it all, he'll be front and center, man. He'll have his own little skit. Oh my God, it'll be awesome. For somebody who went to AEW getting paid, he's probably getting paid some good money over there. But then all of a sudden come from there to go to WWE and look at what he's become since the beginning of the year, man. This guy has literally become, or no, not the beginning of the year, since was Backlash? No, Survivor Series. Survivor Series. Since his debut, he's just been such one of the coolest cats. And the fact that he was booed on his...
he debuted it at Elimination Chamber.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Elimination Chamber. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Elimination Chamber. And yet,
he was booed, like you said.
Yeah, booed on his first night, and then somehow is the most cheered superstar that they have on there. Even more, I think, over Cody and Roman. Just saying.
And it's crazy how he just got over. All it took him was only one simple video of him with Adam Pearce. Where he told Adam Pearce, "I want you to do this and this. I need an induction into the Hall of Fame, and I need Triple H to take a picture with me doing the finger pointy thing."
Yep.
And he just became a thing afterwards.
Exactly. And then him having the curse on Dominic and then Dominic losing the title. So since then, yeah, it's going well. It is definitely going well for Danhausen. So I'm a fan. Look at me dropping my mic over here. Mic drop. I'm a fan. He stays.
It's the best way to do it, man. You gotta drop your mic and let them know that's how you're a fan.
Yep, that's how we do it. Now, moving along, man. As you guys see above the board, if you don't know who he is, his name is Colby Covington. Everybody fights for the UFC of all things, and he just announced his retirement. All right, so it looks like he was one of the named UFC fighters that should, or at least what fans are saying, that should have fought on UFC. What is this, 250? If I'm not mistaken, or something like that. To what's that damn thing that they're doing at the White House? The White House card.
I forgot. Oh,
yeah, same. So everyone's saying that he should have fought on that White House card. He's obviously a Trump fan. He's this and that or whatever. He's those kind of guys that wears American flag on his chest, all the good stuff. So they really wanted to have him on the card. They really expected him to be there just because of his status. But it looks like he had some contract negotiations issues, didn't end up getting the fight. He ends up wrestling for Real American Freestyle Wrestling, the one that Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff and others said superstars developed in the wrestling atmosphere, and then loved it. So it looks like that's where he wants to give his attention to, instead of going back in the octagon and fighting. So am I mad at it? No, not really. He entertained in the octagon, but he wasn't necessarily the actual entertainer at all whatsoever. So it's fine.
Yeah. I'm thinking he really, like, his last fight, even the championship fight, he pretty much got dominated and when it came to UFC. So he's really not giving you a reason to argue for him to stay. That's the only thing I could say, is that he's not giving you a purpose for you to say, you know what? Yeah, let's keep him around.
Right.
No, because he's not doing much.
You're correct. He's really not. They have him on the back burner, which makes no sense because he was, right after the whole ordeal, right? Right after the effect of his mouth, the effect of his, status as being the next, shit talker of the UFC, and lost his fights afterwards. It's like UFC said, all right, we don't want to keep you on the board, man. We're going to keep you quiet. We don't want to have you too much on the screen because you're getting yourself into trouble. So whatever. I think that's fine. But since he's announcing his retirement, I'm okay with it, because it obviously at this point, it's like we haven't seen him. He hasn't fought since December of 2024, old man. We're in 2026 now in May. We're almost, halfway there. And you haven't fought since then. So it is what it is. I'm fine with it. I'm okay. Just let it be. Let him go to RAF and wrestle there. I'm pretty sure he'll be a fan favorite there, and let him talk his shit there. That's fine. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he's retiring. Now, everybody, as you guys see on the board, let's set the record straight. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this was a great fight because it only lasted 17 seconds, but it seems like a lot of people were tuning in on Netflix and watching this fight between Rousey and Carano. Marking, all right, old man, get this, marking the most viewed MMA event or fight itself in U.S. history. And it peaked at 11.6 million viewers tuning in just to watch this fight alone. Now, let me let you guys know something here. The reason why people did that is because they didn't want to buy the ticket to be in audience and be in attendance to watch it. So if you have this set free event that has two name solid, fighters in history, would you rather buy a ticket or would you rather sit at home and watch it for free? I think we'll all say watch it for free. Right, old man?
Yeah, I would rather sit at home and watch it for free than buy a ticket.
Especially if it lasted 17 seconds. Because it seems like that's what everyone knew was going to happen, right?
I didn't think it would last 17 seconds.
I was gonna hope for more. I hope Gina would have had some type of tagging, some type of punching.
She had a few punches in there before she submitted.
She did throw some. She did throw a few tags, and I think that's what made Rousey like, I don't want to get tagged. I'm going down. I'm getting submission.
Said, no, we're not. No, she didn't even get to tag her at all. She tagged her when she was on the floor. I think she hit her once or twice, and then Rousey hit her a few times and just put the submission in.
And see, there you go. So that's where it seems like, okay, yeah, yes, Netflix, you did good. You set an MMA event. Now, mind you, previous matches prior to felt like the outcome was what the outcome was expected to be. The Perry versus Diaz, people expected, Perry to win. But also, too, if Diaz would have won, then they were thinking that, this would have just been a great audition to say, hey, UFC, before Conor McGregor truly leaves MMA, let's make the Diaz-McGregor fight part 3 at UFC and make it for the big bucks. But it seems like Nate Diaz killed it. The way he looked at Netflix, the way he looked for that MMA event, he's done. He's washed up. He's out of it. No one's going to want to invest in that. So I think that's where they wanted to lead to. But the other matches with Francis and Linz, I think is his last name, did, fairly well. Did okay. They exchanged. He got knocked out. Fine. It was great because most of those cards ended their first round in knockouts. And it was awesome. I like that. It was good. And I would like to see another, MVP Netflix event. I truly do. I think it would be nice as long as they pick some, solid not UFC fighters, but MMA fighters on the upcoming and standards is concerned. That's fine. But is this a thing to really hype up? What do you think, Owen?
Well, the cards are good. Depends on who you get for the next time that you make a card like this, because right now all the key players for this one are already done with their week, so I don't think they're gonna try to fight next week or so. And knowing Jake Paul, I don't think he has the money to do a weekly card like you would hope he would. So I think you're gonna probably get this every few months. He's gonna have to build it up like he built this one and just find other fighters that are not competing in the UFC.
Yeah, truly, I think so. And it was hilarious because throughout this whole event, man, everyone was calling him out. You had Perry calling him out. You had Francis Ngannou calling him out. You had freaking the fighters before then calling him out. And it was just funny to see all that. And it's like, the guy who was putting the fights together, he's being called out the most. It was crazy. But it's like, I don't want to give fans. I just wouldn't think this will be a great thing to really even applaud, because it's like, look in the background. Look at the background, everybody. You see all those little bright lights that you see in the picture there? You know what those bright lights represent? They represent empty seats. They represent nobody sitting in there. And yes, it's not just because the fight's over in there. That's exactly what it looked like throughout the whole event that I watched. And old man even tuned in with me and watched that bad boy. You hear us talking about it. No one's in attendance, and yet somehow this fight is still going on. So don't make no sense. But for them to have this many views, that makes sense, because they said, nah, I don't want to go there. Let me lay it down at home. That's what I understand.
Instead of paying for a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Sit at home, watch it.
Hell yeah. So if MVP makes another event, I would watch it. Would you?
Yeah, I mean, if we're watching it, might as well. It was fun the last time. I mean, the only fight that went the distance was Nate Diaz, no?
Yeah, that's it. So again, not bad. Not bad at all.
Everything else was like a 1-round knockout.
Hell yes. Oh, that was so cool. So good. Speaking of the fighting world, everybody, this fight was announced. All right, kind of weird, but Ryan Garcia was on the late night show with Jimmy Fallon and said, I shouldn't say it, but I will say it. He says, that him and Conor Benn will be facing each other on September 12th. All right. Now, the reason why this brings attention is because Conor Benn currently, if I'm not mistaken, fights out of Zuffa Boxing, right? Under Dana White. So
yeah,
for him,
I'm trying to figure out. So, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. I had a chance thought, but I can't think no more.
Well, kind of where I'm at right now, it's like you're fighting at a UFC or TKO Sports, and signed with freaking Dana White in this case scenario, and it's like, what does that mean for Ryan Garcia? Does that mean he's going to be up for anything else after this, or are they trying to work a deal where he could then, fight the next fighter who comes out of whatever event, either whether it be wrestling, whether it be MMA, and says, let me dibble dabble in boxing? Does that give Ryan Garcia the pick of the litter, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is one, he still, which is funny because Zuffa and Golden Boy don't get along at all. Dana White and Oscar De La Hoya hate each other.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out how this contract happened and how they negotiated this fight.
Same.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see who wins, because now you have a legit good beef now with only just the fighters, but with the owners, the managers, the other fighters.
I agree.
So, yeah.
So it's weird, but yeah, let's see what this fight ends up. And it is what it is. It's Ryan Garcia. I'm really hoping that he'll get his rematch against freaking Haney, but yet I'm thinking in my mind, I don't think that will go for it. So we'll see. We'll stay tuned for that one, everybody. Now, the other thing is that Mr. Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford received new contracts this year, but the downside to both of those little scenarios, is they're both 1-year contracts. So that being said, this looks like the end of Aaron Rodgers as well as Matthew Stafford. So I think, who would you miss the most, old man? Would you miss Matthew Stafford or miss Aaron Rodgers?
I don't care about it. I don't know. I'm a Bears fan. And when you're a Bears fan, you don't care about other things. Except for I do miss, what's his name? One of their brothers, both of them beat The Manning brothers. I
The
miss
man,
Peyton, man.
Eli, and Peyton. Yep.
Yeah. So I miss Peyton. I was a big fan of his. But other than that, no, not much of a me missing anybody at all.
Okay. All right. Yeah, not bad. I mean, it's more anticipated just because of the fact that it's like where is going to Aaron Rodgers going to end up? Is he playing or not playing? So for him to be back at Pittsburgh, it seems like he likes how the franchise handles business, and hopefully he can then equate that to winnings. So we'll see for what's happening next year. And Stafford, this guy's a veteran. He has a great arm. He, great solid accuracy, and just looking for a good and better home. I put it this way. So we'll see how that rolls out the remainder of the year at least. Now, I don't know if you are a show watcher of this, but The Boys season finale just ended this past I want to say Wednesday. And it has a lot of the people at an uproar. All right. They're really not excited as to what occurred from Homelander himself, but yet entertained at the fact that there was something happening to Homelander himself. So I don't know. Do you watch the series at all, man? Or have you watched it ever?
No, to tell you the truth, I haven't picked it up at all. It's on the list of things old man has to do, but
All right.
old man goes from getting home, passing out, sleeping, waking up, playing video games, sleeping, waking up, eating,
Gotcha.
waking up, going to work.
So I'm not going to spill it then. I won't spill it. Okay. And for those who are out there tuning in, I'm not going to spill it for you guys. Don't worry. Won't spill it for you. So what I would say is that regardless at the end of the day, it ends the feud between Butcher and Homelander. And we'll leave it at that. We'll see who survives. I'm going to tell more. Won't tell any more than that.
Just wait and see. And same thing with the fans. I know they're gonna have to wait and see.
Yep.
But for that. I have been interested. I've been wanting to check it out, but because of the guy that used to be part of that Supernatural show, I want to see him in action, and because he's actually one of the top actors that people want as Batman, so I want to see how he does the live action.
You should watch it for sure. Definitely watch it. Watch his character. Phenomenal. I think you'll like it. And that which then in turns would probably be a great Batman. Just saying. So you might be right. Now, it's time. It is time. All right. For the reject of the week. And who are we dubbing this reject of the week? Which, oh man, I'm dubbing myself. All right. It's Mr. Ludwig Kaiser, if I say the last name right. And the reason being, everybody, according to TMZ, what's been reported this past couple of days, is that this gentleman here has been arrested for battery. All right. Arrested for battery in Orlando. And the reason being is because he was showing some affection with his girl. And it's not Tiffy time. All right. It's not Tiffy time any longer. He was showing some affection with his girl. Neighbor decided to cause some riffraff. Ludwig decided to step in and say, hey, don't talk shit if you don't want shit. He ends up handling some business, it looks like, which then in turn lands him in jail. Now, oh man, before I move on to the reason why I'm dubbing and the reason why he should be dubbed, do you have any other info pertaining to this event that occurred this past week?
We already know what happened a little bit, but go ahead and dub them, and then I'm going to ask you a question once it's done dubbing them.
Sounds good. So, dubbing reason being, everybody, is because this young man has a great event coming up, all right? He is going to be involved in said luchador made event of the year, all right? It's mask versus mask, character versus character. And the reason why is because the character that was created prior to was all meant for this gentleman. And if it wasn't for a crazy, injury then this young man right here, Mr. Ludwig, wouldn't have stepped in for insurance policy and help out said storyline for character. All of a sudden, develops this high praise of a character for himself. People tuned in and watching for that. Now the old one is back, and now it's a clash. Now it's a clash of mask versus mask, who will end up relieving the character and moving on from said chapter, which then draws an important piece to Mr. Ludwig. All right, it draws an important piece, which tells me if you are a person that the company at this time right now is investing into you and the storyline that you've helped develop, get and stay your ass out of trouble. Sure enough, here he is fighting somebody over scraps. You know what I mean? It was like more or less like a Marlon Wayne situation where you talking smack, all right, dog, and then comes in and starts doing stuff, and which obviously gets him arrested. So shame on you. Not thinking before doing, not thinking before reacting. And especially for the fact that you being a professional and wrestling events who obviously get people shit talk you every single day, but yet this one day in particularly, you decide to overreact. You get rejected of the week. Now you go ahead, man. What you got?
All right, my question to you would be, if you were in that same position as he was in, you're with your wife, and let's say you weren't as intimate as he was, you're just hanging around with her.
Yeah.
If somebody goes and tells you exactly the same things that this guy told him, would you not react the same way?
I'll put it this way. I would definitely act aggravated. I would definitely act with anger, as far as like, my tone of voice, my mannerisms, and all that kind of stuff, as far as like, trying to lay a boundary out. But when it comes to putting hand on someone, as much as I would love to say, yes, I'm gonna mollywop you, I'll lift you up, put your ass in the trash can, or whatever case it be. But for someone who plays checkers, not chess, or chess, not checkers, my apologies, wrong side of the acronym. It's like, it goes back to, I'm a superstar. I feel like I'm being provoked here from a fan or said person who knows who I am. Should I react to this situation as a professional, or should I just say, let me wash my hands up, because I don't want to end up being fired, and I don't want to end up being relieved of my duties in said storyline. So it's hard.
I think sometimes
it's really hard.
Yeah, it is, because in my opinion, I feel like the guy character, you never know what more happened, because there's not too much out of the story, except for the guy telling this man off a lot, telling him, "Hey, you gotta teach her." One, he's like, "You gotta show respect, or else I'm gonna, the B word, her,
Right.
Oh, there you are. I thought you left. So
yeah,
he did that threat. He threatened an old girl. Probably he might have. I feel like there was more spoken before and after the small altercation.
Yeah.
And I feel like that guy provoked the whole situation, because it's a WWE superstar.
Correct.
If Kaiser hits him, it's kind of like you with your Reacher guy. Reacher got off his bike and beat that one dude up.
True.
Kaiser, same thing. Kaiser's defending somebody, because you never know how far the other guy could have gone.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like, yes, he should have probably, thought twice before he did everything, but people had different reactions, and you never know how far they were pushed.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that point of view. It's us men are put in difficult situations because of said scenarios, right? So it's really a big thing where it's where damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Because let's say he doesn't react. Let's say he doesn't do anything. Let's say he stays quiet. He ignores. He even apologizes, probably walks away. You know what's going to happen? His girl's going to go back with him in the room and say, "Oh, you want this. You are soft. You soft. You suck. You ain't a man. You ain't shit. You ain't this. You ain't that." Talking all this kinds of stuff to him. And now all of a sudden we may end up, instead of just having him have an altercation with a neighbor, he himself probably would end up having an altercation with him and his girl, right? We definitely don't want to see that. But that's probably going to end up in the outcome of this scenario where he doesn't react to this situation. He then goes home, walks inside his own safe location, said spouse or whatever case to be, a partner, then verbally just goes in on him, and yet all of a sudden something snaps and we get a bigger situation. So we don't know, and we can't always determine all that, and it sucks. It's just one of those situations where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, and there's always going to be some outcomes to that, but you just got to play smart. And to, positive reinforcement when it comes to the fans, just please think before you do. And let's put it this way: as long as it keeps you out of jail, I think you are somewhat on a good track. Whether or not it's right for the people that's around you, time will tell. Time will tell. I can't be determined to that. So it is what it is. But he got it. We'll see what happens, and hopefully this doesn't truly affect his situation at AAA over there in Lucha Libre, and hopefully he can finish the story out with the other Grande Americano, El Grande Americano. So I think this is a story.
Americanos.
Huh?
The Battle of Americanos.
Exactly, and hopefully we get to finally the end of the storyline. We get to see who's the official one, and just move on from it. That's just my saying. Mm-hmm. But it's been a great. Yeah, it's been a great storyline to say the least. So we'll see what happens. Now, last and final topic of the night, people. It's allegedly been said, everybody. Allegedly been said. So we'll see how we feel about this allegedly been said. The Punisher. All right. There is multiple discussion as there's many reports coming out right now currently that the Punisher One Last Kill did so great in streaming services, which I agree, because that was a great show or movie/show, whatever case may be, whatever you want to call it, was such a success besides that CGI blunder they received that they're looking into making this a movie, or at least creating a movie said for Punisher himself. Do you like this allegedly been said, or what's your feelings behind this?
I like that. I mean, you watched the movie. Mm-hmm. I feel like that movie is really good to watch.
Agreed.
The story is perfect. You can continue off of where the story left off. So he had unfinished business, so why not finish the movie where you left off?
Right. I agree.
And finish the business.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like it. I think this also, but it would have to take place after the events of what's that one?
Superman. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I'm thinking after the events of Spider-Man.
Correct, because this one takes place right before Spider-Man. Yeah, because this one takes place right before Spider-Man, and the right when Spider-Man ends up happening in the movie theaters, then that's how he becomes. He joins in afterwards. So that's where I feel like this is the difference of. But I would say after.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I feel like it takes after the events of Spider-Man, but heck of a show, heck of a movie. I was surprised because people were afraid of them doing gore in Disney, but look at the fact that Disney is avoiding all the hate mail from parents who probably watched it and said, "Are my kids watching?" Disney probably told them, "What's your kid doing watching a R-rated movie when your kid should not be able to even log into your own Disney account. Your kid should have a children's Disney account
Facts.
with
Facts.
what's it called? What is it, like parental controls, Tony?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, if you're gonna, if you're gonna complain about something, you're not the one acting on it first, and that means that you're really not doing parenting the way you should.
Right. No, I agree. It does affect it. There's always a trickle and there's always an after effect. So that being said, we'll see though. We'll see if the movie is, where it lands up and if the actual cast is revealed and even at that too, if they actually make this film. But I think because of the fact they did so well with the one last kill, it made sense as to them evolving onto that and making it more deeper because the Blade character himself has always been at troubles and tribulations when it comes to them killing, said other characters. It's like most of them bring in small pieces to me, and now he has to kind of, seal the deal in this matter. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I feel like this will, have a lot more comments afterwards, but we'll stay tuned. Now, another thing that's been allegedly been said, everybody, is that there could be a brand new Jeepers Creepers. Now, I know what you're saying. Tony, what about the Reborn? What about the most recent one? Yes, I know. It sucked ass. I got it. It stunk out the room. But it looks like we're getting a new reboot. All right? Brand new reboot, per se. That's really going to draw in a lot of attention from what the first original Jeepers Creepers, try to give us. And that type of storyline, that type of aura, I think is really beneficial for this character. Now, I feel like 2, 3, 4, I guess, whatever case be, has draw less attention for him and for them to go back to the first film. That exactly should be where you go because it told a great story. Have you ever seen it? Oh man, at all or no? This guy.
Sorry, I forgot I had myself on mute. I've been wanting to. I've been wanting to watch it for a while. I had never put down, which is funny because it's one of those movies that I've been wanting to catch it. I just been wanting to see when I could catch it on like Netflix or something. And every time I jump in, it's gone. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Try Tubi.
Tubi.
Try Tubi now. Yeah, I think Tubi has it for free. So if you tune in for Tubi, that may be it. And he has 2, 3, 4, 2 as well. But stick with one.
Stick with the right one, I guess.
Yeah, stick with the first one.
I'm gonna have to see which one I can get. But yeah, I want to watch the first one and then just move my way around. I think it's only 3 films.
Yeah, 4 actually.
4 films. This would be the 5th one. But this is like a reboot now.
Yeah, it looks like they're turning it into a reboot from the reboot that they're trying to do, like 2024. So yeah, this looks like it's gonna be that.
Okay, so at least I could say, I can sit the other one and watch the other ones, and then not worry about the continuity with this one because this one will be its own identity.
Right. Exactly.
I wonder if they're gonna actually show you more of the history of.
I surely hope so. I hope so. I feel like that's necessary.
Like an origin.
And yes, that's definitely necessary. And at that too, it's necessary to see what he does with, the said bodies. He goes in every so often, hurts people and stuff like that, and then he does things with the bodies. I think it's time we figure out what the hell he actually does step by step, and then at that too, does he get caught again? You know what I mean? I think that's where the storyline wants to evolve around of.
Of it being, because what does he do? He takes bodies or what? Because I don't know much the concept of him.
About him? Okay, so this gentleman here, yes, this said beast, monster, whatever you want to call him, what he does is every so often, which like every 75 years or 50 years or something in that nature when it comes to timeline, he then awakens out of hibernation and goes hunting, right? He goes hunting for the right scent of people. Like he smells the fear or whatever pheromone said people end up having. He hunts them down and decides to pick them particularly. Now, what happened in the first film is that he has this big ass shrine of all dead bodies, all what people do when they kind of stuff a dead animal, whatever case be, they kind of have them on a shelf.
Yeah,
he does that with the human bodies that he eliminates. All right, and it's weird. He literally has his whole temple underground, just nothing but all dead bodies. All dead bodies. It's weird and it's crazy. It blows your mind. It's like, holy crap. That's what he does. So as a beast himself, he's very hard to kill because people have cut off his limbs and his head or whatever case to be. But I guess what ends up happening with this gentleman, this beast, and how he can rejuvenate himself is that he eats body parts. And the body parts that he eats then regenerates the body parts that he needs, whether it be a head, arm, leg, body, torso, whatever the case be. He does so, and it basically, anatomically, as he swallows it down, it develops and then changes, into his actual body. Crazy. Exactly. Yeah. Crazy. So it's like he's hard to kill in that sense, right? But that's what happens with this gentleman, how he basically survives. And what happened in the first film was that he honed in on one particular character's scent, his whole aura, whatever the case be, and all he wanted to do was just hunt that person down throughout the whole film. Now, in other films, that 2, 3, and 4, he has numerous of people that he rather hunt down. But particularly in that first film, he's hunting down one solo character, and that solo character has to do what he needs to do to survive. Which is why I feel like that first film was such better aura because it was less. So I don't know, man. We'll see what they do with the new Rebo. But don't you see, like, his character's kind of weird? It's crazy, right?
Well, I like the fact that he was hunting one person down, kind of like Halloween, where Michael Myers hunting on his sister.
Right.
But I wonder if it'd be cool if he just chooses one person by random, and the whole movie would have been him trying to kill that one person.
That's kind of like the first film. Random, but again, his scent. It's like he smelled. So what happened was that these two characters, brother and sister, they're traveling, they're riding together, they're going from college to home, and they have their own clothes in the trunk or whatever. And somehow he sniffed them out and said, "What the hell is this?" They stopped over for some food. They noticed him in the trunk or whatever, just sniffing clothes. He's sniffing clothes, and he's like, like, remember that, like Saturday Night Live character where they're like, she's superstar and she goes from the armpits and then she sticks them out. You know what I mean? Like how weird that shit is.
Yeah, no, I remember that one.
And that's what that's what this character is doing with the clothes, man. This boy's like, has everything up in his nostrils and like,
he's smelling. He's like, oh man, somebody washed their clothes with ties.
Like, he's smelling dirty drawers. He's smelling them sneaky socks, man. He's smelling everything, dude. It was crazy. It was weird, and it's like, what the hell is this guy doing? And yet he has wings. He's kind of like a gargoyle. I take it as, to me, it feels like a gargoyle, which then just survives over time in history. So he flies away or whatever case to be, and you don't see him no more. And then that's kind of where he sticks around with his character. He follows him around as they're traveling to home or to their mom's house. And yet somehow they keep getting stopped by this gentleman here. So it's crazy. Okay. I like the first film.
No, we have to watch it now.
You gotta watch it. It's pretty good. First one for sure. So that's allegedly first one. Second, allegedly, people, Boyega. If that's his actual first, last name is pronounced or whatever case me. My apologies. But John, hey, old man, hey, has a great name right
thanks
there,
for
right?
telling people.
No.
Really good.
I just said he has a great
lots
name.
of great Johns in the history of John. Like John Travolta, John.
There you go.
So
Machiavelli.
John Travolta, John Machiavelli.
Yeah, I think that was
that Tupac name.
Maybe. But I think that was a mobster. That was an artist.
Malkovich.
Yeah, there you go.
John Malkovich, another good
John
actor.
Cusack.
Right, so John Cusack.
See?
So it's good to see another John making a return into a franchise that he made. That he was becoming big with, and John's a pretty good acting name, a superstar name.
Correct.
You gotta love that name, John.
That's right. And the reason why it's such big news for people, because for Star Wars fans, this gentleman here was in essence supposed to be the new Jedi, or another new Jedi in the actual startup of the most recent trilogy films. It's like this gentleman gets a lightsaber, he turns it on, he wields it, and he uses it pretty decently good. And yet somehow in the second and third film, we lose any type of connection towards that he has such special ties to it, to the Force itself, right?
Yeah.
That also being said, John has also went on to media and discussed his discrepancy with Disney and how they lied to him and how they kind of co-opted such weird storyline of why he didn't need a lightsaber in that sense. But it's like he really was going ham on everybody. He was going ham on everybody who was involved in the project, and yet somehow they're bringing it back. Now, that being said, if they do bring it back, finally, great. And I think it's like, stop being scared. Samuel L. Jackson did great being the first African-American lightsaber, Star Wars person, right? Jedi. Time for some new talent. Mr. John Boyega was perfect for the role. He killed it, and I think he deserves the respect that he gets from being as an actor and portraying such a great, Jedi. So if this is true, fucking congratulations. Welcome back. Let's get you off a good spot. Sorry. Do you agree? Oh, man, or you never seen it?
No, I agree. It seems like when we watched the first film that he's in, he pulls up the lightsaber, gets into a battle.
Right, Kylo Ren.
He
loses.
But it would have been interesting to see him get trained, because it would have been more interesting to see. I know that people, it became a race story, but it seems like from what I'm looking at, a lot of people weren't fans of Rey at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people are pushing for Boyega, so it'd be nice to see Boyega get his due.
Yeah, I agree.
And I want to see where his character goes. I want to see how does his play out when he becomes a Jedi. Who trains him?
Yeah.
So
surely hope to be off to a good start. Surely hopes to a good start. But I agree. It's like there's so much expectations and there's so much positive side to him actually becoming a Jedi. And I think this is one thing for sure.
And I heard from what I heard before that Disney is now going to, with the new people who are in charge, they're redoing the sequel and they're getting rid of that whole story. Like they're erasing everything that happened there.
That's allegedly as well too. And that's if they do that. Oh man, if they do that, that'll be such a great setup for the Star Wars fans, because people were aggravated at where it went. Like the first film, solid. It's like, okay, cool. We get to figure out who the hell this Rey character is. We get to figure out where, where does John Boyega go to? Where does all this entitle everything? The death of freaking Harrison Ford as Han Solo. Like, the first film was not bad. The first film was the best one out of all of them. All right. Then came 2 and 3, which so much disrupted the actual effort of the first film, because it's like there were 2 different, or if not 3 different directors in these projects, and each director that came out and did these projects decided to change up the storyline for each film, right? And it's like,
I believe it was 2.
Okay, 2. And it's like, why the fuck would you do that? Why would you want to change up the storyline if you knew the first one was primed and set up for you to succeed, to move forward? Y'all decided to do this baloney, like the twins and having the twin force effect, and Rey being a Palpatine instead of a freaking Obi-Wan. Like, what the y'all doing, man? What are y'all doing? It didn't make no sense. It really didn't make no sense. So if they decide to reboot everything in that manner, bring back these old characters, oh man, I'm on down for it, man. I really am, because they deserve it.
I would have been more happier if Rey would have been Luke Skywalker's daughter. It's interesting
Or
that
that
Luke
too.
Skywalker
Right.
had a daughter.
Yep.
And that her and Kylo were cousins this whole time.
Exactly. And that's probably why they have beef. Who's the better cousin? You know what I mean? So I agree with that one on there. I agree with that one. But we'll see. We'll see how this ends up. We'll see if this is even true, because obviously this is allegedly, everybody. But we'll take it from there. But if those who are Star Wars fans, are you excited? If not, let me know what y'all prefer instead. All right. Now, lastly, everybody, is that's allegedly been said and is circling around the media, is that Jake Gyllenhaal could be joining the John Wick franchise, everybody. Mr. Jake Gyllenhaal himself could be the next assassin to be, or the next badass assassin in John Wick 4. And it seemed, or is it 4? Yeah, right. 4? 5.
5.
5. And that being said, since he's joining, it seems like people are also saying in the back end that Mr. Keanu Reeves could be joining this project too as well, to help Jake's character take on the mantle, right? Maybe this could be older brother, younger brother. Maybe this could be cousin. Maybe this could be, foster brother. Maybe, we'll see what happens. But I would like to ask him, man, can you see Jake Gyllenhaal being a John Wick style of assassin?
Well, probably. Yeah, there's 4 chapters. I was just looking at how many chapters there is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think he can. I think Jake Gyllenhaal, he's a good actor. Look at him when he did, here's a good example of him being a badass. Look at him as Mysterio.
Yeah.
Or look at him as that boxing movie he did, Southpaw.
Yes.
So he has acting chops.
Roadhouse. He did pretty good.
He did Roadhouse.
That's right.
He has the chops for action and acting. So if they're gonna pass the mantle down to somebody else and make him a Wick, it'd be interesting if he's the John Wick brother, like you said.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like the surviving Wick, he's now they're trying to do what he has to do. Or he inherited John Wick's thing where they're trying to kill John Wick, and now he gets it.
Maybe.
So it'll be. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I agree.
That'd be a cool story.
Yes, totally agree with you. Wait for it to develop. And if this is true, I don't believe this will be such a downfall. I think this would actually be great for that, because of all characters, I feel like Jake Gyllenhaal can actually be this character where he hones in setup, learn the moves, learn how to handle guns like the way John Wick does and the way Keanu Reeves trained for it and stuff like that. I think Jake has it in him, and I think Jake has it in him to move forward with this character for the franchise itself. So we can finally get Keanu Reeves on the couch and relax and retire, because this guy's getting old, man. He's getting old, and I don't think he can be handling this whole John Wick setup. So if we can do that, perfect. And I feel like Jake is the right guy. He's done a lot of great projects, except for Brokeback. All right, except for Brokeback. Not my cup of tea. Never watched. Don't want to watch. But for him to do that and be like, hey, I'm such a great actor, I can do anything. And all of a sudden, he ends up coming out with some great fucking movies. So, I don't know. I'll leave it at that. But I'm fine with it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. Well, I have to wait and see if he does it. If he does, I want to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
He has the chop. He can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's, man. And then they also had one with Donnie Yen. He's making this movie too.
Exactly. So, could we get a collaboration from between the two? Maybe. And
maybe he debuted in that movie.
Maybe. And regardless, I'm excited for either or project, right? And yeah, we'll wait and see for sure. But man, that concludes our show. We've been on for almost 2 hours in general, and those who are tuned in and commented, thank y'all for doing such. And please let us know what you guys think, man, pertaining to the news that we've expressed and all that good stuff. Reject of the week. Do you guys agree with that? Or do you guys have someone else in mind to be tuning in and Reject of the week? And, share your thoughts on that, because love to hear it. Love to do some research on it and, see if it deserves, right? And we'll, definitely take it from there. But chime in, let us know. All right, old man?
All right. All right, everybody. I guess it's time for old man to go back to sleep.
Late at night, man. Yeah, we gotta get some rest, get some sleep, get the beauty rest going. We'll see you guys on to the next show. Obviously, there's no UFC tomorrow or later today, so don't worry. We'll probably won't be tuning in. Maybe we'll bring up some or whatever case to be, do some just live chat or whatever. But we'll take it from there. Otherwise, we'll see you guys later this week, sometimes next week for sure. Stay tuned every Friday like we always do. Reject Rundown, man, has been awesome and great. Thank y'all for tuning in and commenting like we have. We'll see you guys on the next flip. Yep. All right. All right, man. I will talk to you.